Because, CeCe, on your mock draft, and I'm grabbing my phone because I have this on my phone. Sorry, on the TV audience. Your second QB drafted, you had Shedeur, then you had Jackson Dart after that.
Yeah.
The second
so
QB,
I got 3 QBs drafted in the top 10.
3 QBs in the top.
Cam Ward 1.
Yeah.
Browns trading back in to get Shedeur, and then Jackson Dart to the Saints, right?
Correct.
At 9.
At 9.
Yeah. ESPN bet draft odds right now. Second QB drafted. Shedeur is minus 250. Jackson Dart is plus 165. Jalen Milroe plus 600. Cam Ward plus 4,000. That's an interesting bet. He's not going to go as the second QB, but I mean, is it worth throwing a couple of bucks just in case something changes?
For a draft upset?
I mean, it wouldn't be think about how much of a lock it was that Reggie Bush was going number 1 until Mario Williams went number 1. Everyone and their mother thought Reggie Bush number 1. And then literally the night before the draft, we learned, no, Mario Williams going number 1. Like,
yeah,
what?
He agreed to a contract, yeah.
Like, what? What do you mean? I thought, how could he agree to a contract when Reggie Bush is the pick? I mean, the plus 4,000 Cam Ward is very interesting. Just saying. So those are on ESPN Bet right now. Second QB drafted in terms of the betting odds. Now, there is something that is hovering in terms of this QB conversation that we discussed yesterday that Ben Roethlisberger discussed back on April 9th, which I don't know how. I was talking to Nuno this morning. I'm like, did you hear this? I didn't hear this. Roethlisberger had a little slip-in comment on his podcast, Footballing with Ben Roethlisberger, that didn't mean anything until we understood what it meant. I'll explain after you hear this.
Or I think there might be, is there a wild card team out there?
That nobody's talking about.
Is there a wild card team out there that's like, oh, wow. Like maybe there's a quarterback out there, and I'm not going to mention any names, who maybe has a subtle injury that people don't know about. A starting quarterback on a team out there that has an injury that people don't know about.
Okay, so that was him with, he had McAfee on to promote their big event, the night out that McAfee had last week and his team in Pittsburgh. And Roethlisberger slips that in there when they're talking about Aaron Rodgers. Could there be a team with a starting quarterback that has an injury that we don't know about? Well, he did, because Derek Carr is injured, and that's a starting quarterback.
Yep.
And then Schefter yesterday, and he's going to come on with us at 8 a.m. Eastern, goes on with Freddie and Harry, weekdays 3 p to 7 p Eastern here on ESPN Radio, and answers the question, could Aaron Rodgers be an option for the Saints?
I don't see it. I mean, I think, this is always about what Aaron Rodgers wants to do, and I haven't heard that all of a sudden New Orleans is a place that desires him or he desires them. I guess it could always creep back up. It's not something I'm counting on. Now, maybe I could be proven wrong there, but I haven't heard anything otherwise to date. Plus, I mean, they've got so many financial commitments. It's hard for me to see them go allocate the money that it would take to go get Aaron Rodgers.
Everything that Schefter said makes 1,000% sense. But Ben Roethlisberger has been on this from the beginning, and not breaking news. I think he has connections to the Steelers, and he has said it feels like Aaron may not want to go there. It feels like he's looking around. I mean, do we think New Orleans is in play for Rodgers, despite what Schefter said?
I mean, it's a landing spot. It's a vacancy, right, that we didn't expect to be there. But we also know that New Orleans is going to be in the young quarterback business next week when the NFL draft kicks off. So maybe Aaron Rodgers at this juncture is taking a wait-and-see approach with all of these teams, because somebody's going to be left without a chair when the music stops, and he'll evaluate whether or not that place is suitable enough for him to go there and spend the final year or years of his career. So I think that now that we're at this point with the Aaron Rodgers saga, I would be surprised if he signs before the NFL draft.
I would also be surprised, because what is he waiting for if not waiting for the draft to pass to see where these quarterbacks are drafted? Because I could certainly envision a scenario in which he does not want to be Kirk Cousins 2.0. He doesn't want to happen this year to him what happened to Kirk Cousins last year. But the Saints are interesting because on the surface, you'd say that doesn't seem like it presents a better option for him to win than Pittsburgh does. But maybe he's looking at it.
Whoa. Are you sure about that?
Well, that's what I was going to say, is maybe he's looking at the division and he's saying there's a clearer path for me to potentially get to the playoffs, and that's all I need is to punch my ticket. On the surface, you'd say, well, Mike Tomlin quite literally is always in the playoffs, and it's Pittsburgh. But maybe he is waiting for New Orleans, because it certainly does not seem like Pittsburgh has been the number one option for him, and we keep trying to find that through line. If not Mike Tomlin and the Steelers, then what? And maybe it is New Orleans.
It's a good point, and I don't think that the New Orleans Saints are better than the Steelers, obviously. I think if they went head-to-head in a Super Bowl and Rodgers was the quarterback of both teams, theoretically, obviously, Pittsburgh would win. But I think to your point, he may look at it and say, I have a better chance of winning the division there, plus I have more control if I go there. But we've been asking the question, what is this man waiting for, right? We know that, to his credit, there are teams or team that wants him. What could he possibly be waiting for? We thought maybe he was waiting for the McAfee night out to make an appearance there. I have a theory, maybe on something that he could be waiting for. It's somewhat of a hot take here.
Unsportsmanlike.
Wait a minute! Whoa!
Hot take alert.
Smoking hot alert.
I was thinking about something. What franchise in the NFL does Aaron Rodgers dislike the most? I'd say the Green Bay Packers.
Okay.
Really?
Is there any chance that Aaron Rodgers announces where he goes on draft day to try to ruin the draft a little bit in Green Bay? Does Aaron Rodgers at all want to take away from the draft to move the attention away from this Packers event to himself?
Why? If anything, it would make the draft in Green Bay more explosive and more exciting.
The number one player that moved that night would not be at the draft, would have nothing to do with the draft.
But
Aaron Rodgers would beat Green Bay.
But it would impact everything that happens that night.
Would it, though?
You don't think so? You don't think whatever team he goes to will have to pivot? If a veteran quarterback domino falls, yeah, it's going to shift things.
You don't think that Aaron Rodgers would love to take the attention away from Green Bay and all of the planning by Mark Murphy and all of the people involved in Green Bay about this amazing event that we're going to be a part of, and we pick Wisconsin, we travel Wisconsin, we're excited to be there. That Aaron Rodgers swooping in and the attention goes to him somewhere else and not in Green Bay? I don't know. We've all been wondering what this man is waiting for. It's his right to wait, right? It's the teams that you could critique for them waiting on him. I mean, I wouldn't put it past him.
I don't think that him making his decision would impact the shine that Green Bay is going to get from the draft at all. I think, if anything, it only amplifies it. And if that's really what he's waiting for, I'm sorry. That is so petty and, quite frankly, embarrassing.
Like I said,
it is.
Aaron Rodgers.
I know this is reckless speculation. It is hypothetical. We are in no way saying that this is what Aaron Rodgers actually wants to do. We're just trying to come up with a potential reason why he hasn't signed yet. But imagine the reaction on draft night. If this is in fact the case and we get reports that that'll happen, we'd be like, really? All these years later, you put the Steelers in a position now where, like, let's say